So, if you've been following me on Instagram, check me out at the Draw Detective. You probably know by now that I did indeed forget to hit record when we sat back down again to film the second part of the Falling Stars episode 1. Or at least that's what must have happened. I certainly remember pressing the record button, but that might have been a totally constructed memory. Either way, I forgot to do something, or something went wrong. It's all besides the point. Um, the guys and I actually joked that something like this would happen, and would have to dub it like the lost episode or some stupid bullshit like that. And the stars ended up aligning to make it come true. So, as hilarious as this is, I decided it was probably best not to leave you guys out of the loop for when episode 1 part 2 airs. So I've decided to type up this narrative recap as a solution to fill in the gap for you guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna begin here in a little second. Right. 5 or 6 humanoid, bat-like creatures assailed the SSB as the officers inside struggled to fight them off. It was a harrowing combat for the crew, with multiple members going down throughout the battle. Due to a few well-placed shots from Krumfar and 32, with support from the others, the menace was soon fought off and the B was free to dock at the crumbling abbey near the end of the asteroid's interior long run. Asteroid interior's long run. Venturing down into the ruins, the crew discovered that hidden beneath this crumbling old place of worship were eldritch horrors lying in wait. Within the first chamber, where they encountered a man-sized monster with tentacles sprouting from all ends of its bodies, accompanied by 2 smaller creatures with webbed feet and long, spindly arms, each ending in choking claws. The crew did their best to fight off these creatures, managing to kill one of the small ones and mortally wound the others, but they were all unfortunately knocked unconscious by the horrid lot. Krumfar and Captain Burrows were the first to awaken, and when they did they were met with a startling sight. They were chained up with their companions on the far side of a small, damp, dark room, furnished with an old, moldy bed, a stone table, and a crate containing 4 vials with reddish-brown liquid swirling within. Other than the unfortunate Spelljamming crew, the room was inhabited by an insectoid creature the size of 2 polos crawling about the ceiling, and the eerie sight of a brain, suspended in a briny green liquid within a glass jar. This brain spoke to them, and introduced itself as Ozymandias. He served an elder evil, which he refused to name, but alluded to the fact that they were awaiting for the 3 mortal members of the crew to wake up, so that he could feed their consciousnesses to this great one. 32 was to be scrapped. Krumfar and Polo quickly discovered that Ozymandias, or just Ozzy, according to Polo, was completely self-obsessed. They managed to keep it talking for an hour, allowing some of their wounds to heal over until the rest of their companions woke up. Seeing as the next to awaken was unfortunately their helmsman, Kid, they had to think fast. 32 was not mortal, and did not possess a proper brain, therefore Ozymandias and his acolytes did not require him. Therefore, it was enough to simply have Polo, Kid, and Krumfar awake, to bring them to the brain extraction chamber. Polo managed to loosen the rusty shackles that bound the conscious officers, and the 3 sprang into action. They quickly smashed Ozzy's brain jar open, the green brine splashing all about the room alongside the gray matter of the moldy old cranium. The enormous bug was a bit more of a problem, however. It managed to neutralize Krumfar and Kid, and it chased Polo as he ran outside of the small room back into the main chamber where the tentacled horror and the small choker from their last encounter were waiting. Thankfully, both creatures were still wounded from the earlier fight, and Polo easily dispatched them with his dual-wield laser revolvers. As the captain began struggling to fight off the huge bug, Krumfar struggled against his wounds and crawled his way over to the 4 potions, still lingering in the corner of the room they were imprisoned inside. After testing one, he assessed they were indeed healing potions, despite being aged in a way that would have made wine more delectable, it had the opposite effect for these potions. Using 2 more, he roused 32 and Kid, and the 3 of them came rushing out to Polo's aid, finishing off the bug and releasing sighs of relief after they survived these harsh battles. That, my friends, brings us up to speed for this week of Falling Stars.